Hello, Merry Christmas and welcome back to another video. It's Lydia here. So today, as the title suggests, we're going to be looking at some Christmas games. Christmas games are a bit of an unusual topic. There's not that many Christmas games, and especially not retro Christmas games. So I thought I'd pick out one particular game that I think is really super Christmassy and quite an unusual game as well. And that is Nights into Dreams on the Sega Saturn. Now this is a really fun game anyway. It's very unique. I don't think I've played much else like it. It is made by the Sonic team, so it's got some really familiar game mechanics in it. It feels really similar to the Sonic games, but you're flying through the air instead of running with a hedgehog. It's basically a collectible game and you go through the levels as fast as you can. It's really fun and it's very surreal and trippy, so it's a good game to have in the collection and I don't think there's anything quite like it. But what they do have is an extension of the game, which is Christmas Nights into Dreams. Now this one you don't need the original disc, it is a standalone game, but pretty much all it does is when you've got your calendar set to December, it will turn Christmassy. So all of the levels will now be Christmassy and they'll have Christmas music and it'll just be a lot of festive fun. So let's go ahead and play it and give my thoughts on it. As you can see, it has a pretty unique art style. I really like the character style and it's such a bright game. But first, let's listen to the soundtrack. So this game is essentially just the Christmas skin of the original game. So basically it's the same exact game. The levels are very similar, if not exactly the same, but this time everything is Christmassy. So as you can see, lots of Christmas wreaths, lots of Christmas trees, and it's just very festive. And the music's also really lovely, as you've just heard. Gameplay wise, this game is pretty basic really. You just go around the world, so you have different levels, you collect as much as you can, fly through as many of these hoops and get the best score so you can get the highest score at the end of the game. You do have a timer as well, which as you can see, when you've run out of time, you end up falling and you have to find your way back to the platform so you can start flying again. This particular part of the game is a bit frustrating for me because your character does not control well when you are walking, but luckily you don't have to do it too often. Another mechanic is that at the end you also get these present sections where you try and select a tile, and depending on if you get a matching tile you get some kind of present. I don't know what these are because I didn't actually manage to get one, so it will remain a mystery. Overall, I feel this game has aged pretty well, especially given it's an early 3D game and console. Where it's aged the most is trying to control this game with the normal Saturn D-pad. I would recommend, if you're going to play this game, to get the 3D Saturn controller because I can imagine it would play so much better on that controller. On the original one, it's a bit more difficult, but you can get used to it. It is a really enjoyable game. As I said, the gameplay is pretty basic. The story is there and it feels like there is a lot of lore to it, but it's a bit convoluted to essentially have a very dreamlike, surreal, colourful world, which really is my favourite part of this game. I think it's got a really fun, unique art style that you just don't really see. It's a shame that we never saw another game quite like it, especially when it got to the Dreamcast, because I felt like it could have been a really great game for the Dreamcast too. Saturn games can be very expensive, but luckily this particular game can be found for under £30 if you're lucky, so it is still pretty accessible and I really do recommend it, especially for Christmas time. So that concludes the video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to let me know down in the comments what you thought of the Nights into Christmas game, if you're tempted to pick it up yourself, or if you have any festive games that you particularly enjoy playing too. Don't forget to follow me on social media, all the links will be down below, and also don't forget to press that subscribe button if you aren't already. It really helps this channel grow, and if you click that notification button, you never have to miss another video again. And thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a lovely Christmas, and I'll see you in the next year. Happy New Year. Bye. P.S. Also, check out my very cool Christmas jumper. Isn't it cute?